The heart of her husband safely trusts her, so he will have no lack of gain. And so the first virtue we're here, if you're writing down notes, the first virtue is trustworthiness, being the kind of woman that your husband trusts. Well, in what way? You know, men, and I don't think women have this saying, but men have this saying, he's got my back. Did any men use that phrase, or that kind of rings true? He's got my back. And so for men, having somebody in their life that they can trust means a lot. They want someone who has their back. And for a man, having a wife who has his back is amazing. It's really the number one thing, I think, that husbands may look for in a wife. A woman who has his back. Well, trustworthy in what ways? Well, I think the most, when it talks here about not having lack of gain, is kind of the context. And so the first context we can look at is trustworthy as a steward. Trustworthy as a steward. You know, the Bible talks about stewards, and if you have a lot of money, you can hire somebody to manage your house, right? And we see that. We see narratives in the Bible about those who had stewards, those who managed their house, their home, or homes. But most men today, anyway, cannot afford to hire a steward. It would be nice, right, to be able to hire a full-time person to just manage your household, but most of us don't have that. And so the wife will play that role. And in general, the husband will provide the house and the raw materials. And as we say, the wife will turn a house into a home, right? Through her industry and resourcefulness. And you know, sometimes, especially early on in a marriage, the resources that a husband might bring home are somewhat meager. I know that was the case for myself and my young family. We just had meager resources. I wasn't bringing much home to work with. But as they say, there's this saying that a good woman will turn her husband's pennies into dollars. Turn his pennies into dollars. Being resourceful, finding ways to make those meager resources stretch. Also, being a steward over the children. Husband might have a vision for what he wants, the kind of values, and husbands and wives work together on this. What are the values that we want to inculcate into our children? What are the things that we want them to learn and to do? Working on that together, and a lot of times, moms spend more time with the kids than the dads, and so a husband wants his wife to be, aligned with him on that, and reinforcing the training and also the discipline that he might want in the family. The other way of trustworthiness is being trustworthy as a confidant. A woman that will keep private matters private. A husband wants to be able to confide in his wife. Maybe the things that he's struggling with, the things that he's feeling, or maybe just wild visions that he has for life that maybe he would be embarrassed to talk to others about. But he can talk to his wife about it because he trusts her, that she's not going to go tell other people these things that are meant to be private. Or maybe, husbands make mistakes. They have weaknesses. They have failures. And so a woman he can trust who will not just share all of his failures and weaknesses with.